So I recently said that I'd finished watching all of the Hallmark Christmas films available on the Hallmark channel on Prime UK. Turns out that wasn't true because I hadn't seen Home for Christmas Day. I found this little gem when I was scrolling through my watch list and I really hoped it would be good. I thought, let's go out with a bang. Honestly, I really liked it, and that's because it was quite different. And there are two reasons why it's different. One of our protagonists is much younger than the usual Hallmark protagonist, and the other is that we actually have two separate romances or potential romances happening. So it does use the basic Hallmark blueprint of boy meets girl around the festive season, and they might fall in love or they might not. But it's doubled up, and we have our younger college student. Well, she's applying for college. So the way it incorporates both worked really well. And initially I thought, once I kind of realised that this is what was happening, I thought, will there be too much going on? Will they not get enough time to show how people's feelings develop? But I needn't have worried. I thought it was done very well. So the description from IMDb is one sentence, but I will read it out. It says, a young woman begins a long-distance relationship with an active duty soldier. And that's basically it. It's not the most complicated plot ever, to be honest. Betsy, played by Matreya Fedor, meets Tyler Sloane in a diner, and they start a relationship, but he is a soldier and he goes away, and she struggles to cope. She struggles to kind of be on her own away from him, and she finds it very difficult. And her mother, Jane, played by Catherine Bell, absolutely love her in this. Obviously has to try and comfort her, but she's not necessarily best pleased about the relationship to begin with because he is a soldier and she wants her daughter to be focusing on college and, furthering her education and bettering herself, not focusing on dating somebody she's only just met. It does work very well. The passing of time is done quite effectively, and I feel like the narrative unfolds really well. There isn't much of a narrative, to be honest. It is boy meets girl, or I guess girl meets boy. They spend time together, then the soldier gets called away, and she looks like she's going to be spending Christmas without him. Now, it does seem a bit unrealistic because they haven't known each other very long, and would she be experiencing such severe heartache at being away from him? I wouldn't think so, not in that short space of time, but it does span some time. It's not just like 2 or 3 days like some films do. It gives us a bit of time to develop the characters and for their relationship to build, so her emotions are not entirely unrealistic, but I think it's maybe a little bit over-exaggerated. It's a film that I think a lot of families will relate to. I know there are many families in the world who are facing spending Christmas without loved ones because they are away serving. And I can't imagine what that feels like. I know what it's like to be away from your loved ones at Christmas, but when they're in such a dangerous situation, it must be really awful. And I think this film may provide comfort to a lot of people in that respect. There is a second romance thread, as I said. It focuses around her mother, but it's not as blatantly obvious. It's just a little bit of magic trickling away in the background, and it's there, and you know it's there, and you very quickly know it's there. But it allows the other relationship to blossom and have its time first, because that is the focus. And I think the balance works really well. The two are blended together nicely, and I have absolutely no complaints. The film's directed by Gary Harvey and written by David Golden. It's a nice film. It's not the most festive. I would have liked more Christmas in it, because granted it's called Home for Christmas Day, so it's leading up to the Christmas period rather than being set... that was my cat, if you heard that. Rather than being set kind of at Christmas. But it's not entirely non-Christmassy. I think you'll like it. If you're looking for a Hallmark film that you haven't seen, and you haven't seen Home for Christmas Day, I'd say give it a go. It was released in 2017. Obviously, I'm only watching it in 2020. Personally, I think it was worth the wait.